Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Man Joe, and today I'm going to review a brand new product called the Xcaliber from Trigger King. Now what these are is they're trigger extenders for your PlayStation 4 controller. And you can see one right here on my cinch controller like this. Now more importantly than just being a trigger extender, what these also are is they're a built-in trigger stop and a built-in hair trigger. That's going to make playing games like Call of Duty, things like that, a lot more fun and a lot easier. So what we'll do in this video is I'll go ahead, I'll show you what comes in the box, we'll install them, and then I'll go ahead and go over the pros and cons and let you know whether or not I think you should go ahead and get a set. So let's get into it. Before I get into the review, I do want to state that these were sent to me directly from Trigger King. I didn't purchase them. Trigger King reached out to me, asked me if I could take a look at them, let them know what I think, maybe do a review video, and also let them know if I thought they needed any tweaks or modifications or things like that. Now with that said, I will say I'm extremely impressed with them, and I was skeptical when I first heard about them. When they first contacted me, I was hesitant because a while back I did do a review video on a similar product from Scuff Gaming, only the Scuff version didn't have a hair trigger or a trigger stop in it, and they were horrible. They didn't work at all. As a matter of fact, I don't even believe Scuff sells them anymore. So because of that, I was hesitant, but I have to say I'm extremely impressed with these. When I did receive them, I've used them for a little over a week. I really wanted to put them through their pace before I gave an honest review of them. Now, in order to show you the benefit of having the Xcalibers, let me show you the difference between having the Xcalibers and other types of triggers on our controllers. We'll take this Scuff controller here, which has nothing on it. And you can see here, look at the range of motion on your trigger. Now, the only problem with that is a Call of Duty game actually fires your trigger right about there. So all of this movement is actually wasted. And in Call of Duty, you know, those split seconds count. So if I only have to press it that far, it's a lot better than having to press it all the way down when you're trying to fire your gun, especially if you're firing like, you know, handguns or something where you want to constantly tap your finger. Now, taking a look at this cinch controller actually has built-in trigger stop. When I sent it away, I told them I wanted trigger stops. They put something in and it's got an adjustable screw in there. Now, with those, this is actually set for a Call of Duty game, and you can see right where that trigger is stopping to fire the guns. Now, the Trigger Kings actually go a step further. You don't need to send your controller away to Cinch Gaming or Scuff Gaming. You can just simply purchase these things. And what these are going to do is they're going to do two things. Number one, this is how you use your controller, but you can also have a further down if you want to play a more lax game, or maybe you're not comfortable with your finger up here. But these have a little set screw up here on top that are going to adjust where it starts, and then there's another set screw over here on the side that adjusts where it stops. Now, what does that mean? For example, on my button here, look at all this. Look at how far I have to go. That's all I have to do to fire my gun. Very little, and it's even less motion, less movement than my cinch controller. So you can compare the two here. Look at all I have to do, because see, even though, for example, on my cinch controller, I'm starting up there, I really only have to start right there. So let's get into an up close and personal. I'll actually unbox this, I'll show you how to install them, and then I'll show you how to set them. And then we'll come back and I'll give you all the pros and cons on these. Okay, so this is the box that it comes in. You can see Trigger King, hashtag play like a king, integrated sensitivity and trigger stop. Adjusters. Inside it says dual adjustable PS4 triggers. It does come with a little fine tuning wrench. Looking over on the back, if we can get the light to not glare on there. There we go. www.triggerking. Trigger King's a leading innovator. Let you read that. Go ahead and open up the box here and we'll take a look at what's inside. And when you get them, you can see they're very, very, you know, it's just two little trigger extender pieces. We have our little adjustment wrench so that we can adjust them once we put them on. In the back, they have a little alcohol pad for installing them. Some instructions on how to put them on, and they actually tell you, they have a video here, you can see right here. You go to this website and they have a thing on how to adjust, how to install them. There's one of their cards, and there's some extra adhesives. So installing these is actually very simple, but you definitely want to go over to their website and take a look at that. And we'll take on a scuff controller. I'm actually not going to install them on here, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. On the triggers, it says R2 and L2. And what you want to do is just take it, for example, here's your R2, and you're going to look into the back here, and you have your little tab here, and you're going to just pull off your tab, and then you're going to install them right onto your trigger. Now this is very, very important. It's very important, and sometimes it's kind of hard to see in their video. But you can see here, like, it's actually grooved to fit right on your trigger. When you put it on and actually pull off the adhesive, you want to push it up as far as you can, and you want to push it in towards the light. So you want to have it as snug this way as possible. So if it does, there is a slight bit of movement back and forth. Make sure it's as snug towards the middle as you can. So you're going to put it right about here. Okay, now what you're going to do is, and you're going to do that on both sides, you're going to peel it off, and then you're just going to hold it in place just like that for a second to make sure that adhesive takes place. Once you've done that on both sides, you can go ahead and do your adjustments. So once you actually have them installed, you want to go into a private match on Call of Duty to make your adjustments. And what you want to do is make sure that this set screw right here and this set screw right here on each trigger is all the way out. And what we're going to do is we're going to go and we'll start on the ADS side. And what you'll do is first, like I said, you're going to have it all the way backed out. And then you'll see what happens is you're going to slowly tighten this in, and as you tighten it in, you're going to see, look at the trigger, see how it's moving, it's finding a different start point. You're going to tighten that in until the gun starts ADS or fire, depending on which side you're doing. Once it does that, you're just going to go ahead and back it out just a little bit. That's going to be the starting point. That's what's going to give you a hair trigger. Then you're going to go over onto this side and you're going to tighten it down. You're going to fire your button, see if you fire. If it still fires or it still ADSs, tighten it down a little bit more. And keep going until when you do that, the gun doesn't do anything. It doesn't fire and it doesn't it doesn't ADS, again, depending on which side. Once that happens, back out a little bit and you've got the perfect setting. So now that's all the movement I have to do compared to, like on the scuff controller, having to do that. So that's how you install and set them. Again, go ahead and take a look at the video on Xcaliber's website. Let's go back up to FaceTime. I'll give you my pros and cons on this. So that's the up-close look at the Trigger King from Xcaliber. If you do want to see a little bit more detail on how to install them and how to adjust them, I will leave a link for their website down below in the description, as well as a link if you want to purchase them. I believe they're selling on their website for $15.95. Now, overall, I'm very impressed with this product. I have to say it's very simple to use, very easy to install, very easy to adjust. I do have a couple of little subjective cons for it though, so let's get into the pros and cons. Now, before I do start talking about the cons, let me say these are all easy to rectify. So hopefully the guys from Trigger King are watching this and they can maybe fix these couple little things. So they're all very small, definitely not a turn off, but something that would be nice to make the product an even better one. The first one is when I first got these, the little area where the set screws are, it's a little rough. Not a huge deal, but it's definitely a little rough. When you run your finger over it, you can feel it. I have calluses on my fingers because of the work that I do, and I can still feel it. Now, it's very simple to do. You can take like a very fine nail file and just run it over it once, and that completely goes away. But it'd just be something if maybe they can do it before they mail them out, that one little extra step, it just makes the product just a touch better. The next thing would be is these little adhesive pieces on the back that we use to install them. It comes with one set installed. It comes with an extra set if you need to remove the trigger extenders or if they fall off or anything like that. I'd like to see maybe 3 or 4 extras. Either give us a couple of extras or let us know where we can get them, like what size they are that you're going to get from the hardware store. Now, I didn't go out and look in like Target. I'm pretty sure we can buy these pretty much anywhere, but let us know where we can get them, or maybe even sell spares on your website for an extra $1, something like that. The only reason I say that is I had an instance where I dropped my controller it happened to land right on this and pulled it halfway off, and I had to waste one of my spares on reinstalling the trigger extender, and that's why I didn't want to install my second set, because I was kind of saving them. I really only want to have them on my one controller right now anyway. Another con that I have, and it's a very subjective con, is the fact that we do have to use the adhesive to put these on and off, and that becomes an issue if you play games other than Call of Duty. This is going to be a great thing if you're playing Call of Duty, but you may have a game where you don't want to have these trigger extenders, or you don't want to have to adjust those set screws all the time, and now you've got to peel them off. And that is, again, why I really would like to see more than one extra set of the adhesive pads in there, maybe 3 or 4, or give us the ability where we can buy like a pack of 20, something like that, or tell us where we can get them. Again, it's a subjective con, but not everybody has 2 or 3 or 4 controllers laying around their house. Other recommendation would be for the future, possibly, would be for them to eliminate this part, or actually not eliminate it, offer them, because some people like this, like my one son liked this, but also offer this same thing with just the top portion, so that you can get the benefit of the trigger stops, get the benefit of the hair trigger, but not have this big long piece. The only thing that annoys me sometimes about the big long piece is, again, I have a cinch controller with 4 buttons here, you can see, and so when I have my hand here, if I have this here, it's fine for the bottom button, but when I try to move up, see how it sort of can hit my finger if I move up wrong and prevent me from pressing down all the way. So I'd like them to offer 2 options, one with a little piece up on the top and another one with the whole big long trigger extender. That's all the cons I have. Again, I think they work great, just they need a couple of little tweaks to make them absolutely awesome products. Now, on to the pros, and I have a lot of pros. Number one, they make playing the game a lot easier. They make it so that if you're going to play a game like my new favorite gun in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is the MX Garand. I absolutely love that gun, but you do have to have a pretty rapid trigger finger, and having these allows me to just quickly, just constantly fire the gun like that, where I'm firing it as fast as somebody's firing, you know, like a KN-44 in the game. So I absolutely love that. I do really, really, really like the hair trigger aspect of it. The fact, the way they figured out to put this piece, this screw in here and push the trigger down further so it's got a lower starting point, makes it great. My next pro is going to be the ease of installation. Getting them on was super easy. Just peel it back, kind of push over on the one side towards the middle of the controller, and it was on. No issues with it whatsoever. And my last pro is going to be the price. I think $15.95 for this, it makes it a big difference. It gives you that little edge, and that is definitely, to me, worth $16. So overall, I'm extremely happy with this product. I definitely recommend them. I would like to see them make these couple little changes. Hopefully they do that, but even without the changes, I think it's a great product. Now that is my video for today. Hopefully I've helped you out. Hopefully I've given you a little bit more information if you are interested in getting these Trigger King Xcalibers for your PlayStation 4. Please do me a favor, hit the like button down on the bottom. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and until next time, happy gaming.